All right, welcome to Viewpoint Ministries podcast. This is the hour that we bring you another good topic to look into. This week, we're going to be looking at fundamentals of investing. My name is Solomon Oluwabiye, and I'll be your host today. And of course, on today's program, we have Mr. Femi Shonuga to help us digest our topic, fundamentals of investing. Mr. Shonuga, thank you for joining us today on this podcast.
You bet. Thanks for having me. How are
All
you?
right, sir. Thank you so much. We are having you to talk about investment. Interestingly, we just ended the program where we talked over the YouTube Live. We looked into getting richer above your decision. Now we are into this podcast where we're going to be looking at fundamentals of investing. So I hope those who listen to that or watch that section of our live program will get to listen to these fundamentals of investing. My question to you, though, looking at this, is that what are the things that one or someone have to do? Maybe give us 2 or 3 things that somebody have to do in order to get in investment mode. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for having me. This is fun. Investing, money, people getting richer, right? Or wealthier. I prefer that. You want to be wealthy, not just rich. Yeah. The first thing is decision. Just make a decision. I want to invest, and I have a goal. You write down your goal, whatever it is. Maybe sending your child to the best colleges in the world, one of the best, depending on how many kids you have. Or you want to have a good retirement, or you want to buy a house, you just got out of college, or it doesn't matter where, your station in life. You have to have some kind of goal. Then the goal of investing is, making money off the money you already earned, money you already have. Now you want that money to work for you. Those are the basics. So with that, understanding that from the word go, now then you look at your situation, whatever it is, how much you make, how much is working. It doesn't matter if you already have other investment, as in you have real estate property that it generates income for you, or you have a business that you make money from, or you're still working somewhere, or you have multiple income streams or what have you. All of that is great. But now that money, after you've done the basic things, as in take care of, they say 50% will take care of everything for you to live day to day, your mortgage, your food, so on and so forth. Then 20%, I don't know, maybe for taxes or what have you. Then the remaining 20% for investment, So that 20%, you set it aside. And folks, it doesn't matter how much you make. Just be consistent. 20% is 20%. If that 20% happens to be $40 in your case, it adds up. It adds up, So, but I will tell you this, before I go further into this, a lot of times, especially here in the diaspora, one of the challenges that some of our people have, is they are so much in debt that they can't seem to, get a little money to put as an investment, or to put into invest, into stocks or what have you. So what you need to do if you're in that situation, if you have especially credit card, I'm being very specific now, that is about credit card, is that try to pay it down. Let's say you paying, say 20, you have 20% that you want to invest. Out of that 20%, now put money towards paying down your credit card debt. Maybe 50% of that 20%, or even 10%, but you're investing 10%. Concentrate on getting your debt down, because then once you pay that off, now you have the whole 20% to continue with your investment. So that is just the starting point. There are a lot of other stuff that you need to do, but that shouldn't stop you. You can start today, you can start tomorrow. Don't say someday. Don't say next week. Have a goal. Be deliberate about it. Have a goal. I want to start investment and I want to start it by Friday, or I want to start it by June. There are a lot of things that you may think will get in your way. There are a lot of excuses you can give yourself not to start it. But I urge you, just start. Start with what you have. Start where you're at. So that's the beginning of investing.
Wow, thank you so much. I know that our time is too short, but of course, within this time period, you are able to give us some nugget that I trust that people will run with even as they continue their week this week. You talk about making a decision, write down your goal. Do you want to get to buy a house? Are you looking forward to retirement? Or are you looking into sending your child to school? Let money work for you. Be consistent about it. And you talk about credit card, which I think is also a very important part of this, to be able to, start investing. And you talk about pay down your credit. I mean, that is a huge part because you need to have some change to be able to start to invest. And you narrow it down to talk about, even if it is just $40, do something, be consistent. And most important of it all, you say, start today. Start today. Do not delay. Tomorrow may be too late. Take advantage of what is happening around the world and invest some money today. And to all our listeners and our viewers, I want to say a big thank you for joining us on this podcast today. And of course, Mr. Shonuga, thank you so much for coming on this podcast today.
My pleasure.
All right, to everyone that has listened or watched this podcast, this is disclaimer. Of course, this is not an advice for you to get into any investment that you may have heard or see a signal to on this program. We have not come to advise you, but to provide you with an education that we trust that you will go back and do a due diligence on your own. So please, if you need further clarifications or you have questions, feel free to reach us. Our website is www.viewpointministriesinternational.org. And you can send us email as well, info@viewpointministriesinternational.org. We will be glad to provide you any assistance that we can do, but do not take anything you've heard today as an advice to rush into investment. Do your due diligence. Again, Mr. Shonuga, thank you so much for coming on today's program. All right. I hope we will get to have you again next time. Stay with us. Do not go yet in the studio. To everybody that has listened to us today, I remain yours, Solomon Oluwabiye. And until next time, you'll get to hear from us. Have a wonderful week, even as you go out this week. Solomon Oluwabiye. This is Viewpoint Ministries Podcast.